It was a bitterly cold, snowy evening. A pretty little girl walked down a snow-laden street of a very busy city. Her clothes were extremely thin and were covered with patches.
Matches for sale, matches for sale, wooden matches?
She called, but no one would buy them because it was New Year's Eve. Everyone was in a hurry to get back to their warm homes to be with their family and celebrate the new year. The snow gently swept across her long golden hair, which curled softly across her neck. She said to herself,
Oh dear, I haven't sold a single match all day.
When she looked down, disappointed, she noticed her feet. They were red and blue and numb with the cold. She had no shoes. One of them had slipped off when she ran across the street to escape two rushing carriages coming her way. When she went back, the shoe could not be found. A nasty boy had run off with the other shoe, shouting, I am going to build a sparrow's nest with this thing. So the little girl passed barefoot through the streets. The wind was blowing hard across her face. There were lesser and lesser people by now. She still called out,
Matches, good quality matches.
Once in a while, but to no avail. It was getting colder and colder, and she was shivering. She had no choice but to go into a doorway for shelter. She sat down there and huddled. Suddenly she heard cheerful laughter coming from a window near her. When she peeped in, what she saw was absolutely marvelous to her. A little boy and a little girl were happily playing around a Christmas tree. Their father was sitting comfortably by the fire and putting wood into it. The little match girl stared into the crackling fireplace and the warm glow around it. How she wished she was in there. Everyone was just so happy inside.
Can I want just one match?
She asked herself.
I have so many. One match wouldn't really make a difference, would it? At least my finger would be warm.
So she struck a match and lit it. Oh, how it danced and jiggled! And she watched it, wrapped in wonder. The little girl imagined the playing children and the fire from the house hiding her from the freezing cold. It was truly wonderful and soothing. But the flame faded away and its magic disappeared along with it. There she stood, alone in the cold. Her body shivered and quivered from it. She was hungry and miserable and had no strength left. Did she dare to pull out one more match?
There are still so many of them left,
she thought. This time, when she lit the match, the light shone brightly and she saw another vision. Right before her eyes was a grand table laid with. There was roast, turkey, jelly, cakes and fruits. They all said to her,
Eat me! Eat me!
The turkey got up from its plate and waddled towards her with a fork and knife in its back. Just when she was about to touch it, the flame vanished into thin air. The little match girl didn't want the vision to end, so she lit up another match. This time, what she saw was different. A family was sitting at the table. The jolly father raised a toast to the good health of everyone. The tender grandfather looked fondly at his grandchildren as they sang songs, and the mother gazed at her children and smiled with joy in her eyes. Never had she seen such happiness, never had she found such warmth. From her eyes flowed bitter tears of pain and longing. That vision too died with the dying of the match. Around her the icy wind howled. By now her hands had no feeling left, and she dropped her apron. Out flew the matches and fell to the ground. These were all she had left to give her hope. She bent down with difficulty, unfolded her fingers slowly, and picked up another match. In the glow of the new flame, up in the night sky, appeared the image of someone she had known and loved.
"Oh, Grandma!
Cried the little one with relief.
Grandma!"
It was indeed her grandmother, the only person in the whole wide world who had ever loved her. Her grandmother floated across towards her from the sky in a golden cloud. The little match girl was overjoyed. But then it became slightly dim. The flame was running out.
"Don't grow, Grandma!"
Cried the little girl. Right then she took the rest of the matches and lit them all at once. The matches shone so brightly that it was as bright as day. Never before had her grandmother been so beautiful. "Don't worry, little one," said the grandmother. Her grandmother gently lifted her up in her arms, and they flew up high, very high, to a place where there was no cold, no hunger, and no fear, with God. Early next morning, the little girl was found lying, frozen to death. The New Year sun was up, shining on her lifeless body. Her cheeks were rosier than ever, and her calm smile comforted some who saw her. And there were burnt out matches all around. Some people who saw this said, She must have used them to keep herself warm. Oh, yes. But no one knew the beauty of what she had seen in secret, nor in what glory she had passed with her grandmother into the happiness of the new year.